just going out and having a good time. But what we want to do is immediately, as soon as the pups are born, start bonding with them. And so the day they're born, each one is picked up and checked out, but they start associating that feeling of being held, the comfort and security of that, with us. So by the time their eyes open and they can run around a little bit, they want to follow us. And so we use that as an opportunity for them to help develop their self-confidence. And we do that by putting little challenges in their way. Let's say it's the dock to jump on, or the water to go through, maybe trees to go around. At first, they can't do it, and so we help them across. But eventually, they make it, and when they do, we praise them on the other side, and they learn something important from that. They learn that we're not asking them to do anything impossible, and also that we will always be there to help them when the going gets tough. And that really pays huge dividends when we're out on the trail together with them later on in life.
Well, we saw a little bit of that right now. This one little guy's not sure, but Laura's going to encourage him up there, and of course, that pays off at harness time, doesn't it?
Look at the one rolling on his back.
These guys are really clowns.
These are what my back legs are for, right?
You know, it really
no, I can't see them.
We want to make sure that all the elements are there for them to succeed. So we look at each puppy when they get old. You can see they're not big enough to go on harness yet, but by about 6 months of age, they're big enough, strong enough, and fast enough. But the one thing that I look at in each puppy is whether or not the instinct to pull is kicked in. And when all that comes together, it's a recipe for these little guys to succeed. And so that's when we put them in harness. But if we didn't have great lead dogs, like you'll see out here, pulling them down the trail, or leading the team down the trail, I should say, and we won't have to step on these, it would be total pandemonium. We'd be going every which way.
Come on, let's go. Come on, let's go.
The lead dogs are going to be over 100 feet in front of me, and so I better have a good relationship with those lead dogs, because it's our trust and we trust them that gets us safely where we're going. Now, as you probably noticed, power isn't going to be my problem, so I've modified this four-wheeler. In the summer, of course, there's no snow, so I can't use the sled, so we've chosen to use these four-wheelers, but I don't need any power. So what I've done is I've removed the engine on this thing. You can see there's nothing in there to help me go forward, but I do need to be able to slow down. So I've got 3 different sets of brakes on this to help me slow down. But with all that power out front, if I didn't have it totally tied off to this rope here that's anchored into the bank, I'd probably be out the gate already. So what I'm going to do, as soon as we get these last dogs in line, I'm going to take off, do a little spin around the lake over there, and give you a call from the other side to let you know how it's going. It should be a pretty exciting run today. This is the boys that, winter or summer, they've got all that energy. They like to use it. And really, this is the instinct
ready to go.
Pull that you see, even from the day we first put them on. So it should be a pretty exciting run.
Hang on tight. I'm sure they're not real anxious to get through there. And notice how quiet it got immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately. And they're going to head through the dog yard and come the other way. Laura's out here. You see all these banditos in the yard. They say, hey, I want to go. Take me next time. And they will. They get exercise at least twice a day. But look at that team pulling that forward. Isn't that beautiful? Now, we lose sight of them here for a second, so let me orient you. Beyond the dog yard, of course, is the lake, and on the far side is the back trail. We will see David here shortly scooting along the back trail, but then you might lose sight of him. Well, then find a TV monitor, because the camera's up high, and you'll be able to watch him run on the video until he comes back in the gate. We'll see him on the other side again. So be sure I'll holler when it's time to look at the screen. But they should be coming out. There they are on the far side.
Well, here we come out of the trees on the back stretch, and we are really flying along. These dogs are hitting a pace of, looks like close to 20 miles an hour, which is really remarkable when you consider it's only 10 dogs. And they're pulling me on this four-wheeler, which together, the four-wheeler and I weigh over 600 pounds, and they pull us like we don't weigh anything at all. And that's because these guys have great teamwork. Each dog does exactly the same amount of work, so it makes the load light for everybody. It's a great thing to watch, a well-matched team like this. Now, I'm coming up to a pretty sharp corner. I'm going to have to sign off after I give a command, but I'll tell you more on the way back.
All right, now you just said Ha. Ha is left, G is right, like driving mules on the farm. But unlike driving mules, he has no bits in their teeth and no reins on their backs. So the really remarkable thing is all he has is his voice and those leaders' ability to respond. And now they're coming back. Beautiful left turn.
Well, here we come out of that corner, and that is always a thrill for me to be able to head home because it allows me to see how well the dog's training is going. When we first start running the dogs, they're all out, but what we want them to do is to learn over time that they have to conserve a little bit of energy so that when we head towards the finish line, they can really call on those reserves to pass any teams that could be in front of us or keep our hard-charging competitors behind us. It's a great thing to watch. This is a great group, and I think they've got a wonderful career ahead of them. I'll tell you more about them when I get back.
Now, sometimes the dogs communicate to the musher. Susan was out on the frozen Yukon River. She called her team to the right, and the leader went left. She said, Tekla, G, and Tekla went, oh. Well, Susan said, this dog's trying to tell me something. And sure enough, the lead dog pulled the team off the ice, and the ice collapsed right where they would have been.
Wow.
It was rotten ice, and the dog knew it, the human didn't. And so this is a real partnership. It's like horse whispering. It's an amazing relationship that is developed. And here they come for the big finish. And wow, that's a good time. All right. Well, David, that was under 3 minutes. That's about 2:55. That's a good time for
I think that's the record for this year, isn't it?
Yeah, team testosterone. Way to go, guys.
That's right. These
good.
guys like to rock and roll. And, you know, after every one, we want them to know how much we appreciate their hard work. So we'll go up and down the line, pet each dog, thank him. And then, of course, like everybody after work, they want to play. And the dogs are no different than us.
Absolutely. Well, of course, they come down to the big water daycare, and you know, I'm sure